Hello and everybody, welcome to the J.A.W Show. It is April 2nd, 2021. I'd like to welcome you all to the J.A.W Show today. Today I'm going to be giving you a little bit of an insight on what's going on in the world today. I want to do this. So my guest hasn't shown up for this J.A.W Show today, so I'm kind of going to go off of the off script here for today and tote him anyway because he's a good friend of mine, and I don't know what happened, but I take care of my friends. If they don't show up, I want to make sure at least I give them a plug because I'm that kind of guy. Emo Alaeddin started a group called MNO Twin Cities. He is by rights a very good vocal coach and a very good performer as well. You can check out all of his links here. The featured link by Granted Records. You can go to his link and you can search out if you guys need a voice coach, if you guys are looking about moving your music career forward, if you have a voice, if you think you could share it with others, if there's a reason for you guys to go out there and find somebody who could work with you, who's friendly, personable, and allowing you the ability to learn from this as well. So it's one of those deals where for whatever circumstances today he couldn't show up on time, at least this moment, and I think it's always better to think the better of someone than the worst of somebody. So I'm going to assume something happened today, and then that's why he couldn't be with us here today. But as you can see in the what we're doing here today, so let me talk a little bit about my friend and what he does. So granted, so you'll see the feature link below there, so you'll obviously see that, and then don't forget, if you guys want to comment or mention below here, don't forget to subscribe and stuff like that. I just want to say to you guys that I'm trying to pull up some of his information here, so please be patient with me. Okay. Granted Records. So, my fans today, I think I see somebody student. So he has a recording studio. What he is doing with his studio is he's got, like, if you guys want to make a custom made sing along for your kids, like if you want your mom to have a really good Mom's Day present, looking forward to Mom's Day, guys, coming up soon, what the best things you guys can do is go out there and maybe use some of his services, create your children singing bedtime lullabies to mommy instead of mommy singing bedtime lullabies to her. Kind of something fun and interesting like that. He also does spoken word, helping people get their voices right and talk out loud and showing their voice in their records and stuff like that. So he works there with their voice. So maybe their voice is almost there. He helps bring them up to a point where they can sound good in a studio and stuff like that. He also does mastering and stuff like that. So mixing, mastering, making sure it sounds right as well. Coming up with his own personal jingles and stuff like that. So don't forget to guys go out there and look for Granted Records Emo Alaeddin. So anyway, but one of these I'm gonna have a cigarette, guys. So this is how it's gonna be, guys. There's a point in everybody's life where sometimes things don't happen the way that they're supposed to happen. People often have some things going on. So this is a good topic for today, because what happens when the emergency happens or something that comes up that you don't plan for, and people get so worked up and say, oh, this person didn't like me, oh, this person decided that I wasn't worth their time. Maybe, just maybe, something happened that you guys don't know about, that you're not quite sure what that person's going through. It could be a family emergency. It could be I overslept because I went on special medication for the first time. It could be a bunch of different things. So, we always give people the benefit of the doubt in this world. And I think that is kind of what we gear towards, is working to be the benefit of the doubt of our full local people in our city. We're starting to get ready to start reopening soon and getting ready to start interacting with one another again. We have to remember that even after we come out of this fog called COVID, we're going to have to readjust to life a little bit. People are going to be a little bit standoffish at first. People are going to have to warm up to the idea that this thing is almost over. It's not going to be party 101 right after the gate. It won't be party 101 right out of the gate until there's minus 10% infectious rate in America, and there hasn't been a COVID case in a month from any place ever. So that's what it's going to take to make sure that we're safe enough, or we have to get to a certain percentile where people are vaccinated by 90%. I'm sure they'll reopen things, because at that point, most of America is vaccinated anyway. We're allowing for the 10% who choose not to get vaccinated, right? So, and if you don't get a vaccine, you're an idiot. I know your religious beliefs or whatever kind of beliefs that you have for not getting vaccines. That's on you, and I wish you well. I hope that you come out of this pandemic well. I'm not going to begrudge people who do not want to get the vaccine because of their own personal beliefs or own personal way of living life. Maybe they think, oh, I'm here for as long as God says, and I don't need the man's medication and man's help. I want all that stuff. So whatever makes you feel better to be more inside and stuff like that. So we have to look for that moment when we struggle to, embrace our friends, even if they don't always show up when they say they're going to show up. You have to really think about sometimes when your friends have things happen in their lives, they don't always have that 5 minutes to call you and let you know what's going on. Or your family member or anything. Sometimes it's so urgent that you don't think straight, and the last thing you think about is calling people to tell people the people that they love are in danger. No, you're worried about your brother, your mother, your wife, your children, your anythings, right? So it's important for us to, keep moving in this forward direction. So, what I have learned from this group called Emo Chapter is that community is important for us to be able to better one another. We have to share. We have to learn how to share again. It's just like when we were 5 years old and we were told we had to learn how to share with other kids because other kids needed a cracker too. You couldn't have all of the crackers. You just got one cracker, like every other kid got one cracker. Just think about that for a moment, guys. That's all we're asking everyone to do, is just make sure everyone has that cracker, everyone has that thing that they need, and in return you give them a cracker back. It's not that hard. We get so caught up with this paper stuff we hold in our hands, or these metal coins we hold in our hands, that we forget about what makes it special to be human. It's about sharing our experience. It's about sharing our livelihoods. It's about sharing who we are in the grander scheme of things. Not always getting everything right. We're human. We make mistakes. We're fallible. I don't care who you are. I don't care what walk of life you've come from. I don't care how many millions of dollars you have. You have problems. You have things that have come up in your life that are, in your world, the worst thing that could ever possibly happen to you. So, we don't take the word forgiveness as strongly as you think you should too. Forgiveness is all about forgiving someone even if they've done something wrong to you, especially if they've done something wrong to you, because then you're not carrying that hate or that anger around in you anymore. The moment you forgive someone, that they lose their power. They can hate you all they want. They can dislike you all they want. And, it's not like you don't have control over the situation. You can say, please stop. Please don't, include me anymore. Please, don't let me be a part of what your life experience is going on. I have a personal life experience going on right now. and with people not showing up or not wanting me in their lives. And that's my brother. Me and my brother are estranged right now because we had some issues with him living with us, and because of the situation that we were in at the time wasn't healthy for anybody, and a bad situation happened. He got kicked out. He's still mad at me for that, during COVID and stuff like that, but I was only allowed to have a guest in here for a certain amount of time, and he went way past the time he was supposed to. But anyway, guys, the important thing is, even though that situation happened, even though it upset and angered me a lot, I had to let that anger go. I had to let go of that. And yes, that doesn't mean that every day I don't still struggle with feelings of being pulled in 3 different directions with what happens to my bro. It's just how we're going to keep continuing on, So since we don't have our guest here today, I guess I can play a little bit of music or something like that. Anyway, and then we can have a nice little conversation. Hey Siri, open Spotify. Hey Siri, open Spotify.
Hey honey!
I'm on my show, you stupid witch!
It don't matter.
What are you doing here?
Well, I heard that your guest didn't show up, and well, hell, I'm always here. You know that.
Well, I guess my lovely wife is going to join us here today, so Eunice decided to pop on in, and like you said, even she knows sometimes things happen to people, and it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. But that's not the worst thing that can happen. Yes, my guest didn't show up today, but I'm going to assume something happened that he couldn't control. So, and I want to say thank you, Emo, for even doing this, wanting to do this interview. We'll reschedule it and we'll redo it again. So don't worry, my friend. We'll put you on the doctor for next time. So, why are you here in my lair trying to get into all of my stuff again?
You just answered your own question.
Oh, I did?
Yes. What are you doing here in my lair? And then you said, trying to get my stuff and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
You just answered your own damn question, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, see. So, she might have a unique perspective on this. I've had, there are things that happen in her life that maybe is just not the greatest thing that could happen. Hey, that's here. Give them your little wall there.
What's the worst thing happened in my life? Well, shit. I've had many things happen that have been bad in my life. My birth father kidnapped me and my brothers when I was 4 months old, man. That was a low point. That was probably even lower for my mama. Let me think here. Oh my God.
The list is long, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And, unfortunately, as you get older, that list grows a little longer, and it happens. But you've got to be good with where you're at now. That's the thing that is really important. You have to be good with what you're doing, where you're at, period. And if it's a low point, well, no, you can only go one way. Boom.
Yeah. She's right, People say that a lot. You can only go one place up. No, you can't go farther, deeper into the abyss too and not be able to crawl out of it. And sometimes it takes friends or takes people that you may have written off, the people who are going to call you and wonder where you are at when you're not answering their phone calls. The person who's going to stop by your house and knock on the door to make sure you're okay. The person who's going to worry about you even though that they're billion miles away, millions of miles away, don't even know or are aware of what you're actually going through at this moment because they've got so many issues going on in their own life that they can't stop to think about what's going on with you. They have only got time for what's going on in here, and that's the kind of help we need to give each other. It's that help when I say help, it's it's giving without worrying about getting a reward. But if you're going to get a reward, it's going to be a pay you back for what you've done for me kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And this group that I'm with right now, that's what they're all about. Paying it forward. I know that's a silly saying that we've been saying for a while, but it really does work, guys. If you take some part of your life, you don't have to spend money. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's just sitting and listening to someone in a nursing home who doesn't get a visit from somebody all the time. You know, I remember going into my great grandmother's nursing room, and if she was asleep, I said, "Do you have any residents who haven't gotten a visit in a while?" And I said, they would always say yes, and I go, "I want to go visit that person." And I'd walk in their room and I'd go, "I'm here to take a visit with you today." They'd go, "Who are you?" And I'd go, "I'm just some guy who decided someone needed a visit today." And it was just that act of kindness, you know.
Compassion.
And compassion, you know. So it was just that act of sitting down and listening to them tell me the stories of their lives. And I'll tell you, did I learn stuff? Hell yeah, I learned stuff. Did I find out something going on? I think I have a mini house panther in the room here. I thought I felt something push my leg. Watch out. House panthers are afoot. House panthers are afoot.
No, he's asleep on the sofa.
Oh, well, then I guess
It might be Ari.
might be. Yeah,
Or Xena.
Yeah, we've got a lot of ghost kitties in here brushing across our legs and stuff. So, but, you know, community and coming togetherness isn't hard to do. It's just a matter of what are you willing to let go of in order to be a better friend, a better neighbor, a better person to just one other person. It takes one small act of kindness to turn a cruel person into a giving person, because sometimes that opens their heart so much that they go, well, and there are people who will take advantage of you out there and will take you, rob you blind as much as they can, but you got to be smart about it too. You don't just give them money because they're some prince from Zambunda, you know. You know, if your favorite star is asking you for money, they're not your favorite star. If your friend is asking you for a small loan and they can pay you back but they don't know when, maybe you can help them with that. Or maybe you have to, oh, there you go. Forgot she needs a light too. Light me up. Light me up. Fire. 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 So, but the whole point of what we're doing here today is just talking about giving, you know, and what are we giving of ourselves that is. Now, I'm an artist, so I paint. Do I sell a lot of my art? No, I don't sell a lot of art. I give most of my art away. I make walking sticks. Do I sell a lot of my walking sticks? No, I don't. I give most of my walking sticks away. Even this, it's a free thing. Now, it's just one of those things that you guys know that it's one of those moments. You get to choose. Sometimes chosen family is better than blood family. Sometimes blood family is better than chosen family. Sometimes it's a mishmash of other things.
But I guarantee you, the people you surround yourself, what you show them is what you will get in return. You show compassion to your chosen family. You show them service. They're going to show it back to you. I couldn't tell you how many times I've had that shown to me. You know?
I've done something ever since I was about 18 years old. I've done what is called a threefold gift pretty much every year without fail since I was a young boy. I go out of my way to do 3 special surprise things for 3 special people in my life. Especially if they don't think they need it or want it or any of that fact. That stuff I probably need for my warranty stuff. She's digging through my crap again.
No, through the trash.
Oh, okay, yeah. It went in there by mistake. We go, what's this, honey? Oh, it's my stuff. But, you know, it's that we really need to focus on more than anything, because I lost my train of thought because of you.
Thank you. I think what he's saying is whatever we give to the world, we believe in the threefold law. Whatever we give to the world, we're going to get back threefold.
Yeah.
Now, how cool is that?
That's basically the golden rule in a nutshell, guys. It's just do unto others as they would do unto you. We're not here to preach to you. We're not here to tell you how to believe or what to believe. And we're here to help you understand that that stuff really doesn't matter in the long scheme. Only God can decide if you're right or wrong. And you only get to see God once when you go up to meet them. If there's not a God, well, then you don't have anything to worry about, do you? You're a blip on the screen and you go poof, right? Okay, so whatever. But part of it is I've always been a giving, generous person, and when it came time for me to get the turnaround, it did come back. Now I had to stop myself from taking advantage of that and start giving back again to the people who are in my family. So you can't always take advantage of the situation. So you got to be able to say yourself, okay, I'm okay enough now. I need to start paying some people back, or I need to start doing something for somebody else now. And, don't do it when you're financially strapped, but it doesn't have to be a financial gift. It can be a hug. It can be a conversation. It can be a phone call. It can just be a silly, random, stupid thing like this. I'm going to announce that I'm going to be launching my Seed of Hope soon to go across America. # Seed of Hope. I'm going to be putting balloons on this and sending it off to its way. And it says, open me right on it so that people will know they have to open it. It's got a special message in here for you. Keep it going, guys. That's what we need to do. So Eunice, how do you think this can help us save the world?
Easy. We're not thinking of ourselves. We're thinking of others. That's how. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many people that needed a little bit of money I gave money to. Didn't think about it. When I saw a group of homeless people, I would buy a sandwich and sometimes, I usually would buy a drink, whether hot or cold. Didn't make any difference, depended on the weather.
Yeah, you buy a sandwich, something to drink, maybe some chips and something sweet to eat. You know how much you're going to make that person's day?
Oh, and it did. Especially the homeless. They don't get a lot of money.
If any.
Well, they will get change, spare change, like a quarter and 2 pennies. Okay, that helps. You are giving to the homeless. But there was one time when I lived in another state. Hey, get that back over here.
Sorry.
I think Jabadier has said that I am a veteran. And within the first week or two of moving down into the abyss known as Florida, there came a guy who had a pickup truck, and he had just been granted shore leave, but had, gas was obscenely high. And he says, can you spare anything so I can get back to my family? And I said, of course. I gave him $40 to fill up his gas tank, or put enough to get to his family. Something like that. At the time, it was no big deal.
And like I said, it's not always about the monetary gift. It's sometimes about that time and service you put in. That road cleanup you did, now we didn't have to make those people who were maybe needed to get outside a little bit more for some fresh air because they did a bad thing, maybe we take a little bit of the money out of their hands and put it back into our community's hands, because now communities are thriving because their community looks better and they're more well maintained and they don't have trash on the side of the roads anymore. That stuff doesn't just get picked up because the lawnmower goes by and shreds it to bits. No, it doesn't matter. People actually have to go out there and pick it up to put it into things so people can come along and pick up the bags. You know, I used to do highway cleanup with the group that I was with, and trust me, it's not an easy thing to do. You know, if you're committed to doing that kind of service, get involved with your church group, get involved with your community group, get involved with your pile of friends, play card games on Zoom and play board games on Zoom and come up with creative ways to do things together, because it's about how we reach out to one another as well as how people reach back to us.
Yeah.
So, but we're getting near the end of our show today. I'd like to thank my lovely wife Eunice for coming here today as well and popping in. And I'd like to say, Emo, I hope I can hook up with you sometime soon, and we'll get you back on the doctor as soon as possible. Well, this has been the Josh Show for today. I'd like to say goodbye and thank you. Don't forget to subscribe,
Subscribe, people!